Decide for yourself. The geometry of suffering. What if suffering isn't just emotional, but geometric? Imagine that inside your mind there exists an internal map, a mental landscape you use to navigate life. Every situation, every relationship, every expectation is plotted somewhere on this map. It tells you what matters, what threatens you, and what direction you should move next. But here's the problem. That map is rarely accurate. In Zen, the root cause of suffering is often described as attachment, the tendency to cling to certain outcomes, identities, or beliefs. But rather than thinking of attachment as simply an emotional habit, it may be more helpful to think of it as a distortion in the geometry of your mind. Picture a calm, open field of awareness. Flat, balanced, and undistorted. This is what the Zen tradition might describe as your original nature. A field where experiences arise and pass without unnecessary interference. Now introduce attachment. Attachment acts like a gravitational anomaly in that field. Just like a massive object bends the fabric of space, attachment bends the landscape of awareness. Suddenly, the map begins to warp. Certain things grow unnaturally large. Other things shrink or collapse. The mind begins to exaggerate. When we strongly desire something, recognition, success, approval, our mental map expands around that object. It becomes bigger than it really is. Our thoughts orbit around it. Our attention gets pulled toward it again and again. Zen might call this the expansion of craving. But distortion works both ways. When something threatens what we're attached to, criticism, loss, uncertainty, the mind contracts. Awareness tightens. The field of perception narrows. Instead of seeing the full situation, we see only the threat. This contraction creates anxiety, defensiveness, and fear. So now the internal landscape is no longer smooth and navigable. It's full of peaks, cliffs, and collapsing valleys, all created by attachment. This is the geometry of suffering. Reality itself hasn't changed, but the internal map we use to interpret reality has become distorted. And when the map is distorted, every step becomes difficult. A neutral event can feel like a crisis. A small setback can feel catastrophic. We're no longer responding to circumstances. We're reacting to the warped terrain of our own mind. Zen offers a radically simple solution. Rather than trying to control every circumstance, it invites us to examine the distortions themselves. The Zen master Joshu Sasaki described a fundamental condition called zero. Not emptiness in the sense of nothingness, but an open field of potential before our preferences and interpretations take hold. In the zero framework, awareness itself is naturally undistorted. The expansions and contractions we experience are temporary overlays created by attachment. Through practices like zazen, seated meditation, We begin to notice these distortions as they arise. A thought appears. A desire expands. A fear contracts. But instead of reinforcing them, we simply observe. And something interesting happens. Without constant reinforcement, the gravitational pull of attachment begins to weaken. The exaggerated peaks flatten. The collapsing valleys open back up. Slowly, the internal landscape returns to balance. This doesn't mean that desires disappear or that life becomes passive. It simply means that awareness regains its natural geometry. Spacious, flexible, and accurate. When that happens, the map begins to align with reality again. Situations can be seen clearly. Responses become natural rather than reactive. In Zen terms, awareness is no longer trapped inside the distortions it once created. The geometry of suffering dissolves. And what remains is a clear, open field, where life can be navigated with precision, stability, and freedom. Not by forcing reality to fit our map, but by allowing the map to return to reality. You can subscribe to our Substack posts here